he called it business. And asked over and over again, he repeated that word. Business. This is about business. James Cook is doing his business right now, and he's not practicing with the Buffalo Bills as he continues to seek his own contract extension.
Well, the one thing we know about James Cook, he's been good for business in Buffalo for Brandon Beane, for Joe Brady, and for Josh Allen. And Brandon Beane addressed the Cook hold-in this morning. Listen to this.
Yeah, it's not something we were fully aware of until, shortly before practice. And so I get it. I understand it's the world we're in, I guess. There's been constant communication with his agent, either with myself or Kevin Megank and with Jimbo. And so, I wish we weren't here. This is my 9th season here. We've never had a player miss due to a contract or anything like that. So that's disappointing for me.
Listen, guys, James Cook is a home run hitter, right? He rushed for 4 touchdowns of 40 yards last season, the second most by any player, only behind Saquon Barkley, and actually one ahead of Derrick Henry. And check this out, bro. Saquon and Henry were first and second in total rushing attempts last season, while James Cook was tied for 19th. Mina, when you look at James Cook, how much of a difference does he make versus the other running backs of the Buffalo Bills?
I like the whole group, Ray Davis and the Ty Johnson as well, but I think Cook is unique in his vision and his elusiveness, and that's captured in, to me, a stat. He was contacted behind the line of scrimmage at the second lowest rate of any back in football last year, behind only Jahmyr Gibbs. Ray Davis was 17th. And I think that's really important because not only is he's a home run hitter, he helps keep this offense on time. Look, the Bills do not have a group of world beaters at receiver. They have an all-world quarterback, but they also have a dominant run game. And I don't like the idea of taking Cook out of this group because I thought he was exceptional last year and saw him really develop, particularly when it came to that vision.
James Cook is the second most important person on this offense. Obviously, Josh Allen at quarterback is, and the unit of the offensive line, everybody's offensive line matters. But when it comes to the importance of somebody on an offense, he's the second most important player on their offense. And to Mina's point, we showed the stat, RC, we talked about the home runs. The Bills don't have this unbelievably exotic run game. There's a beauty in the simplicity that they go through. And you know how comforting it is for Joe Brady to be able on first down to call some of those basic runs when they had 6 offensive linemen on the field, and him to look down at his call sheet and go, all right, I'm either calling 1st and 10 or I'm calling 2nd and 6. Yeah. There was very few negative runs, very few you missed the holes, very few you tried to do too much. And so that rare ability of you got us 4 because that's all that was there, or you got us 15, 20, 40, and you made it the last third of it on your own, that's unique. And I hope Buffalo gets this done because he is vitally important to that offense.
But I think you mentioning that he was number 2 also alludes to the point that him being number 2 and being as good helped number 1, who is Josh Allen, be much better, much more efficient with the football as well.
Decision making,
all of those things kind of go hand in hand.
100%.
And one of those receivers that Josh Allen was throwing to was Khalil Shakir. Adam, he was injured in practice. What's going on there?
Or see, he's got a high ankle sprain. They're saying he's week to week, but this is going to be a multiple week injury. And now there's a question as to whether Khalil Shakir will be ready for week 1 when the Buffalo Bills play the Baltimore Ravens, who have their own injury question to a skill position player in Isaiah Likely, who's got a fracture in his ankle. And so there are questions about whether Shakir will be ready for week 1 against the Ravens. There are questions about whether Likely will be ready for week 1 against the Bills. Both teams have questions, but Khalil Shakir really has developed into Josh Allen's probably most reliable target, and now his status for week 1 is up in the air.
Listen, he's such an important piece to that offense. That's why they signed him in this offseason. He hopes he's healthy very early in this season. But guys, we're just getting...
This jacket is a direct reflection of all of you who have poured into my life and in my career. I might be the one wearing this jacket, but I hope every time you see this jacket, you see yourself.
Had it not been for sports, I probably would never cross paths with half of you in here. And that's why sports is such a great reminder to us as humans that we're not divided as people may think.
I'm deeply grateful for this incredible honor. We all share a deep love and respect for the game of football, and it transcends time and place.
I'm not going to bore you with talks of the University of South Carolina because, well, without them, unlike Antonio Gates, I had to go to college to play football to have a chance to stay here.
I just hope by watching you today, you understand that anything is possible. Not just in football, but in the game of life.
As Charles Woodson would say, Raiders!
As one half of the first brother selected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, you got to come up here and stand next to me, my man.
So as a Norseman by blood, as I am Norwegian, it was only fitting that I became a Viking.
The last time I was here, you said that you were the only pro football player in the Hall of Fame that could say this, that you were the second best player in your own family. Well, I agree with that statement, but
Hey, several legends of the game will be eligible for induction for the first time next year. Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald, and Frank Gore headline that list. Also, head coach Bill Belichick will be on the ballot for the first time after the Hall of Fame changed its bylaws last year to allow coaches to become eligible sooner after leaving the NFL. Also, guys, in case you missed it, check out this photo captured by Steelers DK Metcalf going up and grabbing a pass at camp. Aaron Rodgers is hoping to see some form of that this season. Now, guys, for more of what's going on in Steelers training camp, our Steelers reporter, Brooke Pryor, joins us now. Brooke, what have you been seeing at Steelers practice?
RC, I can tell you, I have not seen much of those one-handed catches from DK Metcalf, at least when they matter in those team periods, 11 on 11, not even in 7 on 7. In fact, at yesterday's practice, the last time the Steelers were out on the field in Latrobe, Aaron Rodgers tried for DK Metcalf deep twice and missed him both times in that 7 on 7. So I asked wide receiver Scotty Miller, hey, are some of these misconnections because you guys didn't get a full offseason with Aaron Rodgers? Obviously no OTAs. During minicamp, he wasn't in the team periods. And he said, yeah, 100%. But then he said that we can learn through failure. So the good news is they are doing a lot of learning. And on the flip side of that, RC, you're going to like this. One of the reasons the Steelers offense doesn't look great is because their defense looks pretty incredible. Big reason for that, of course, is the addition of Darius Slay, Jalen Ramsey in the backfield, and up front, those pass rushers, even with TJ Watt not practicing a ton, they don't want to wear him out before the season gets started, getting some younger guys, some reps in there. Jack Sawyer, Nick Herbig have looked good. Y.A. Black up front on that D-line has had a lot of batted balls. So this defense looks great. The offense has a little bit to go.
Brooke, thank you so much. You look at what the Pittsburgh Steelers are becoming. Omar Khan, the general manager, is having the most unlike Pittsburgh Steeler offseason that we've ever seen. But Mina, if this offense does struggle early, what is going to be the formula for the Pittsburgh Steelers to win?
Well, I think they got to be better at running the ball. I think this is kind of a run-first offense with Aaron Rodgers as the point guard. And you have to have a top 10 defense to carry that. Dan, I'm sure you're going to agree with me on this. If this defense doesn't get better at defending motion, it's dead on arrival against the best offenses in the league. This was a huge problem against the Baltimore Ravens. It was a huge problem all season long. They were a bottom 5 unit in success rate when offenses used motion. When offenses didn't use motion, they were just outside the top 10. That is going to require not just new talent, but also better communication.